Gentlemen, boys and girls, please be outstanding and remove your caps for the playing of the Australian National Anthem. How about that? Your Coran Cove Island Resort, Brisbane Bandits. And at first base,
good afternoon and welcome to One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus, where we have a twin bill of ABL action for you this afternoon between the Curran Cove Brisbane Bandits and the Sydney Blue Sox. With Australian silver medalist Paul Gonzalez, I'm Eric Bramer. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. It is a hot one today in Brisbane. Paul, these are two good teams. Bandits, they speak for themselves, three-time defending champions. But last night we saw the Sydney Blue Sox, a team that has historically struggled against the Bandits, come away with a win 5-4. They outplayed the Bandits. Bandits are not in this position too often. What did you see from Sydney last night?
What I saw is character. the club showed a lot of character. They were down 4-1 in that ball game and persevered offensively and able to put up a big number and close it out. So we talked about the dynamics, not just on the field, but in the clubhouse, and they came out last night.
7 more games, including 2 today, between these two teams as they try to fight for supremacy in the new divisional format of the Australian Baseball League. Blue Sox lineup begins with Dwayne Kemp, followed by Gift and Gope, Jacob Eunice, Trent D'Antonio, Jack Murphy, Zach Shepard, Michael Campbell, Shen Hao Wei, and Alex Howe. First pitch from the lefty Travis Blackley is lifted foul out of play. Blackley on the season 1-1 with a 5.63 ERA. Paul, he has only pitched in 8 innings, but he is a veteran presence both on the field and off. He is one of those guys who, when he's on, can really shut down an offense.
Yeah, he can, and it's actually good that they've got the veteran arm after a good start by Sammy yesterday. The key for him is how quickly he settles in. I know with Blackley over the last few years, when he settles in, gets in a good tempo, he is tough, and if he gets a lead, he gets even tougher.
Game 1 of today's doubleheader is a 7-inning ball game. Game 2, which starts at 6 o'clock local time, will be a full 9-inning ball game. And that is a quick first out for Travis Blackley. I beg your pardon, that was strike 2. Dwayne Kemp from the Netherlands.
Hopefully it's not as close as the other one. All right.
Blackley delivers, and this one is lifted in the air, shallow left. Nielsen coming on, makes the catch, and there's the first out. Defensively for the Bandits, it's Nielsen in left, Campbell in center, Lutz in right, Shue at third, Bennett at short, Dutton at second, Sutherland at first, Ryan Battaglia behind home plate. It's a very similar looking lineup, save for the backstop, but a little bit of defensive rotation with Lutz, the DH last night, in the field today, and Riley Unroe, who made his season debut last night at second base, getting the spot at DH.
Yeah, David has a little bit of flexibility with his both defensive and offensively with his lineup.
First pitch swinging is Gifton Gope on the ground towards short. Bennett with a low throw, but dug out by Sutherland. Nice play by the Bandits' first baseman for out number 2.
Really good play right there by Sutherland, and it's one of those things that doesn't show up in the scorebook, but by picking that, it takes pressure off Blackley in that situation. You see the ground ball comes around it really well, just kind of comes short with the throw, but a good job by Sutherland to pick that for out number 2.
Suki Bowl replay. That brings up Jacob Eunice, first baseman for the Blue Sox. Blue Sox are managed by Tony Harris, a veteran of Australian baseball and the ABL. Ball 1 misses up and away. Eunice last night delivered the eventual game-winning hit, an RBI double in the 8th inning that fell between 3 Bandits fielders in shallow right center. Blackley delivers. This one bleeds its way into center field, and Eunice has another base hit to extend the top of the first inning.
We talked about it yesterday with Eunice. He's now a veteran in this lineup, and it's great to see him hitting the 3-hole. Always has quality at bats, and he doesn't try to do too much with the baseball. He uses the whole diamond, but he is a tough out, and yesterday he came up with a big hit for the Blue Sox, which ended up being really the game changer of the night.
Here's Trent D'Antonio. Lefty-lefty matchup here, one of a couple that Blackley will see. D'Antonio 0 for 3 in the opener last night, but he did draw 2 walks. Hitter-friendly ballpark here at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. And again, the wind is blowing out to right field, 3 kilometers per hour from the northeast, and a sweltering 33 degrees Celsius at first pitch. Figures to get a little bit cooler as the day goes on, but this is what players will have to come to expect as the season continues. Yeah,
particularly in Queensland. I know when the Victorians do come in, and I saw the game earlier with Auckland, and it was a fairly chilly day in Auckland today as well, so everybody will always have to adjust to the heat in Queensland.
Blackley ahead of D'Antonio 0-2. Blackley does have an excellent pickoff move. Eunice takes a very small lead at first. Bouncing in the dirt, and taking off for second is Eunice. The throw from Battaglia not in time. Ooh. And over sliding the base is Eunice. He's out. Call made by third base umpire Paul Latta. And Eunice can't believe it. We'll take another look at the Suki Bowl replay, see if he did lose contact with the base with his left hand. He did. Good call, and a nice throw and a nice tag. Blue Sox come up empty in the first. Back after this, the Bandits are coming to bat.
Can't you see my heart is lost without you? And your kisses make me love you more. And your kisses make me love you more. Can't you hear the sound of love and desire? Kiss me, baby, touch me. Kiss me, baby, love me.
Bandits struck first last night. They look to do so again today against Luke Wilkins, the pitcher for the Blue Sox. Here's the defense behind the righty. Left to right across the outfield, it's Howe, Shen, and Campbell. At third, Shepard. At short, and Gope. At second, Kemp. At first, Eunice. And Murphy, the veteran catcher, behind home plate. Bandits lineup begins with Andrew Soupy Campbell, the center fielder, and he takes low ball 1. Campbell, Bennett, Sutherland, Lutz, Shu, Unroe, Dutton, Nielsen, and Battaglia for Dave Nielsen's Bandits. Wilkins, 28 years old, playing for his hometown team, the Sydney native. In his 9th ABL season and 8th with the Blue Sox, he's 1-1 with a 1.50 ERA through 2 starts this year. 3-0 to Andrew Campbell. Bandits would love to have the speedy center fielder on base to start this ball game. Wilkins from the wide. There's a strike. Campbell in last night's ball game began the game with a double to left center field, scored the game's first run. Drew a walk in the 9th as the late rally came up short for Brisbane. Chopped on the ground towards first. Eunice has it and takes it himself for out number 1.
Got a chance to speak with Brian Murphy, the pitching coach. Here's the ground ball to first base. Good job by Eunice, who's primarily played almost every position on the field, so it's great to see him now. He's playing first bag in game 1 of this doubleheader, but he said he's not an overpowering arm. He'll give you 3 different looks. He's a pitcher, and so his job is really going to try to keep this team off balance and really force the ground ball today.
Bennett 1 for 4 last night. He too drew a walk in the 9th inning. Bandits left the bases loaded against Todd Van Stensel as the Blue Sox closer got the final out on a line drive off the bat of David Sutherland to right field. Tumbling catch made by Campbell. If he had not caught it, it would have been a Bandits victory. Wilkins falls behind again, and now it's 2-0. I've told everyone who asked about last night's game that it was an exciting game, but then I talked to Dingo, Dave Nielsen, and he said, well, yeah, it was exciting, but it was a frustrating game, too. Those are games the Bandits are used to winning, and now another 3-0 count.
No, I agree. I think there was plenty of opportunities, and we capitalized on a few mistakes, and so did Sydney. So you talk about 2 competitive teams will take advantage of errors, and it was
lifted in the air, right center field. Over into the gap is the center fielder, Shen, and it is gone. Wynn carries that one out of here, and T.J. Bennett goes yard to give the Bandits another early lead. Empire jerky home run. The Bandits have a knack for first-inning long balls this season at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus.
I'll tell you what, that ball got up in the jet stream, and the wind is blowing out to right center. I know it's not a deep alley in that ballpark, but it just kept continuing to carry, and that's a 1-0 lead. We'll get a chance to see the replay. Pitch location was down in the zone, but he is so strong. He's able to lift that ball and get it up in the air, so I think we may see a big offensive day today.
Only 370 feet to dead center field, and as you said, the power alleys are shallow as well. Here's David Sutherland. He hit one out down the right field line in last night's ball game. First on the team to 3 home runs, and a 1-1 count now. You could tell off the bat, Bennett thought he had just popped it up. 2-1. And even Shen, the center fielder, is pretty nonchalant about going after that one. He knew that he had time to get it. It's just the target that he was running to moved more and more towards the wall.
Yeah, he had a bead on the ball, and I think if he had a little bit more real estate, he runs that ball down, but it just got up in the zone and the jet stream and able to carry out. So positive for Bennett and the Bandits, but as a pitcher, you've got to sit there and say, I've kept that ball down in the zone, so I've got to really be critical of my location.
Sutherland gives this one a ride to deep right center field. That one's high off the wall. Picked up on the warning track by Shen. The throw into second is not in time. David Sutherland barrels one up. Another extra base hit for the Bandits' first baseman.
really good job by Southern right there. Once again, fell behind in the count and got a pitch in the zone. Didn't try to do too much and able to drive the ball off the right center field wall for a double. So now, once again, you talk about early offense. The Bandits come out swinging the bats hot in game one.
Here's Donald Lutz, bat beginning to wake up for the German-born right fielder. As the DH last night, he hit a tape measure shot well over the right center field fence. His first of the year. Also added a single later on in the ball game.
Got a chance to talk to him at early stretch, and I asked him if he got it, and he said, yeah, I got it.
I could have told you that. My goodness.
Sometimes guys will say, I got it off the end of the bat just to keep you thinking. But no, he was able to square it up. And I also got a chance to connect with Maestri, who was when I was early on in the early Bandits days, and it's great to connect with him. And see, he's got a new family. He's got one, and he's living back in Rimini, Italy. So it's great to see him back here as well.
Pitched well last night. Didn't get the win, but pitched well enough to win. Check swing from Lutz, and it's 2-1. Win last night went to Tyrell Harris, who earned that winning decision. Breezed through a 7th and 8th innings that saw his offense on the top half of the scorecard score a couple runs and take the lead for good. Lutz pops it up, back of the first base side, and it lands out of play. Crowd continuing to file in here this afternoon. The heat has sent most people towards the shade if they have an option. But if you're watching this and you're in the area, you can always come in for Game 2, which is scheduled to start at 6 o'clock. Bandits on the season 4-4. As it stands right now, they're a game and a half behind first place Sydney, who improved to 6-3 with their win last night. Sydney has played one more game than Brisbane. 2-2, lifted in the air, left center, playable for Howe, and he gives way to the center fielder Shen for the second out.
Good job right there by Wilkins, just really giving Lutzy different looks, and just took a little bit of speed off that and got him out in front for the second out of the inning. But that's where he's going to have to be effective. He's like I said, he's not going to be not going to overpower you at the plate. But he's going to keep you off balance and try to keep guys on it, honest on the inner half of the plate.
Here is Shu Ji-hung, batting an even 200 on the year. Shu swings at the first pitch and rolls it to first. Eunice tosses to Wilkins, and Wilkins does a nice job after the home run and the double to limit the further damage. But the Bandits do strike first. T.J. Bennett with a high and just far enough home run to right center field. It's 1-0 Brisbane as we go to the second.
Careful, out there, champ.
How good is this?
Travis Blackley returns to the mound for his second inning of work. Now he has a 1-0 lead as the fans enjoy their afternoon and sing happy birthday. It's not your birthday, Paul, is it?
Not today. And good job by Koshi once again. He seems to be everywhere in this baseball field. So another good initiative engaging with the birthday fans today.
Someone on our crew has a birthday tomorrow, and we do not have a broadcast tomorrow. So we might as well wish him a happy birthday. Who is that back there?
That's Akil.
Akil. Happy early birthday, Akil.
He's Dr. Akil.
Dr. Akil, the 19-year-old prodigy. Trent D'Antonio began his at-bat, but it was ended abruptly when Jacob Eunice was caught stealing second over sliding on a pitch in the dirt. So D'Antonio back in with an 0-1 count to begin the second. D'Antonio, Murphy, and Shepard, 4-5 and 6-2 up for the Blue Sox against Travis Blackley.
Blackley's doing exactly what I talked about, you know, his rhythm, and we talked about once he gets the lead, how he goes into another gear. It almost seems like he just focuses a little bit more, but good to see him 0-2 already working down in the count to a tough hitter.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike three. D'Antonio evades the tag, but an easy throw from Battaglia to Sutherland completes the strikeout. Another Skyfleet Hino strikeout, first of the game for Blackley.
Good pitch right there by Blackley. And like I said, it seems that his mound presence and his composure has been outstanding this year. Had a tough one in Auckland, but he made good pitches, and he pitched within himself again. And this is what's so important, particularly in this ballpark, is making sure you stick to your game plan.
Here's Jack Murphy, switch hitting catcher, batting righty. 0 for 5 in last night's ball game, and he takes high ball one. Murphy made a couple really nice stops on pitches in the dirt late in the game last night, especially in the 9th inning, when an extra 90 feet would have meant extra innings for the Bandits. Ball followed by a strike.
I think the one big thing I saw with Murphy, particularly in the real change of this ball club, is his ability to command and control the pitching staff. He did a brilliant job of settling pitchers down when they needed to, and then obviously firing them up when they needed to get engaged as well.
Swing and a miss, 1-2. And that's why you bring a guy like him on, right? For his veteran presence and his ability to command a game from behind home plate.
They're invaluable. I mean, I was fortunate enough when David was still playing and representing Australia, and obviously played in the big leagues with Milwaukee, how the whole pitching staff, their whole demeanor changed when he was behind the plate.
Tapped on the ground towards short. Bennett charges and slings it on towards first for out number 2.
Good play just on a routine ground ball, and TJ's done a really good job of adjusting since Logan's recovering from the shoulder, but he's done a brilliant job of just making the routine plays, and it is taxing on you. If you're not an everyday shortstop, also having to assume the role, there's a lot more activity on the field than normally playing the corner positions that he normally plays.
Made the play of the year in the ABL so far in round 1 against Adelaide, starting an outstanding double play. Zach Shepard, the Detroit Tigers prospect, takes his first hack of the day. Shepard had 5 plate appearances last night, but didn't put the ball in play once. A pair of walks followed by 3 strikeouts. 0-1. There's a ball in play, at least for now. High in the air down the right field line, and Lutz overruns it. It falls fair. Getting by the Brisbane right fielder, he gets the ball back in. It'll be a double for Zach Shepard. With this high sky, you always have to be concerned about the fly balls like that.
Yeah, ball hit up in the air, and Lutzy went a long ways to get there. I think the big man couldn't slow down in time to regroup, and ball just kind of blew back over his shoulder. So that'll put Shepard on second base with 2 outs and a chance to tie this ball game.
One thing the Blue Sox did better than the Bandits last night is they were able to take advantage of the defensive miscues like those. Only 1 error on the ledger for the Bandits, but a couple missed plays in the field, a couple extra bases given to Sydney. And in a 1-run ball game, those can make all the difference. Michael Campbell steps in. Left-handed hitting right fielder. He swings at the first pitch and sends one down the left field line. Another long run for a Bandits outfielder. Nielsen comes up just short in foul territory.
Really the real difference will be, and it would have been good to see, if Blackley would have got the 1 pitch out, then obviously he doesn't have to tax him. If he has to work harder on this batter, particularly on a hot day, you know, will that play a factor in a 7-inning ball game? Does he let him go into the 6th inning? Does he let him go into the 5th inning? So see how he's able to regroup after the miscue and right, and see if he can keep his pitch count low.
Only 20 pitches, 16 of them for strikes. Blackley, true to form, is pumping the zone. The 0-1 to Campbell. Slow breaking pitch taken for a strike 0-2.
That's a really good pitch, and as a left-handed hitter, when a guy can show it early in the count, he can snap that off, then really expands his zone, so allows him to potentially throw it harder for a ball and get guys to chase it.
Blackley with a look towards second. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. It gets away from Battaglia, and Battaglia fires all the way down to first in time to get Campbell by a pair of steps. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Travis Blackley. He works around the gift double, and the Blue Sox do not score. Bandits lead at 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the second on Bandits.tv.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
No one knows what the future of transportation will look like. Robots. But no matter what, Enterprise can help. You can rent a car for a road trip. Look, kids, nature. Oh, wow. You can rent a truck for a move. You can buy a car, commute in a van pool, or get picked up because your car is in a pool. My bad. Count on Enterprise, no matter where transportation goes next.
Let's go.
I love the future. How can Enterprise pick you up today?
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah?
Is it fun playing at festivals?
It's pretty good, mate. You get to see amazing places, meet new people. Everyone's just pumped to be there, and you get to do the sign-off.
Queensland, where life's beautiful one day.
Riley Unroe takes up and away ball 1 from Luke Wilkins to begin the bottom of the second inning. Unroe getting the start at DH today after being thrown right into the fire at second base 24 hours after he arrived in Australia after a trans-Pacific flight. Last night at the plate, he went 0 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts and a pair of well-struck outs to right field. Early on the 1-1, it's sent foul.
I think it's a good matchup for him, particularly just coming off the bird, not really no at-bats prior to coming here. So he's not going to be an overpowering arm, so give him a chance to see if he can work himself back into his timing rhythm.
Switch hitter has only batted left-handed so far across a couple games, and he's called out on strikes to begin the second inning. First strikeout of the game for Luke Wilkins, and that brings up the 7th place batter, Wade Dutton. Dutton back at second base today. Started in right field last night. First pitch, a belt-high strike. Wilkins from the wind, low and away. Two games today, and then the finale tomorrow afternoon. ABL.TV will have that broadcast. 1-2 now the count. Next week, 4 games in Canberra against the Cavalry, Thursday through Sunday. First 2 on ABL.TV. We'll have more details as the week goes on, but we're hoping to have a radio broadcast for you for the final 2 games of that series, Saturday evening and Sunday morning.
Wilkins done a pretty good job early in this ball game, and he's a veteran guy on this club, and he's pitched here before. So for him, I think he knows what his game plan is, and that's where that trust with your catcher is so important. He knows that he's going to throw down the right numbers.
Dutton swings at the chest-high pitch and sends it to short, and Gope fires to first to retire him for the second out. 4 straight retired after the homer and the double.
Yeah, good routine ground ball and good job by Gift. And once again, he's solid over there at shortstop. And that's one of the things that's so different from this ball club is that it's going to be that consistency in the middle of the diamond. They've got lot of speed in center, and they've got really good consistency up the middle. So, and then when you talk about the backstop, that's a massive point of difference this year.
Here's Daniel Nielsen taking low and in. And Gope is currently a free agent, so no obligations that would force him to leave the team around Christmas time, as you sometimes see with those affiliated guys.
Well, the good thing I see with guys like with his skill set, he's still young enough where he'll transition, and he's a guy that's got big league time. So when you talk about a potential insurance policy in a AAA ball club or even going to big league camp as a utility guy, but he's given opportunity for people to see him, and that's what's so good about the Australian Baseball League is that he's still competing at a high enough level. Wow.
Nielsen gives it a ride to deep right field. That ball is gone. Daniel Nielsen with a long home run. Second of the ball game for the Bandits, and it's 2-0. Empire Jerky home run, and talk about a polar opposite of Bennett's home run. This one was a no-doubter.
Tell you what, he definitely squared that ball up, and talk about, impact. These guys are hitting a lot of solo shots, and this shows how everybody 1 through 9 is a threat at the plate. Get a chance to see the replay. He gets to pitch up in the zone, and he did not miss that pitch at all.
Wilkins knew it as soon as he released the pitch. That was not the spot he wanted to throw to. Called strike to Battaglia. Ryan Battaglia getting the start today in Game 1. Danny De La Calle has been the primary catcher, at least to this point in the season, but Battaglia with an opportunity here in the first game of the doubleheader. Battaglia on the season, batting .200 in limited time with 1 run batted in. 1-2 misses just up. The Wilkins delivery. Popped up behind home plate. Murphy doesn't see it. Now he does. And he overruns it too. There's enough of a breeze here to impact balls like that. We saw Donald Lutz have trouble with it in right field, and I don't think it was the mustache's fault, but Battaglia gets a new chance.
I think I heard the crowd yell that out as well. But, yeah, that one just caught him off guard, and I think that there is a bit of a breeze up high and able to blow that back in, keep the at-bat alive.
Those are always tough for the catcher. And now the count runs full. Leadoff man Andrew Campbell waits on deck. Payoff pitch. A check swing in the dirt, and Battaglia went around. Strike 3 ends the inning. First 2 strikeouts of the game for Wilkins come in the second, but so too does a Daniel Nielsen home run deep to right field to double the Bandits' advantage. 2-0 as we go to the third in this 7-inning ball game.
It's always been you.
It's always been us.
The Bandits, just as they did last night, have taken an early lead on the Sydney Blue Sox. Blue Sox needed all 9 innings last night to come back and take Game 1 of the series. They don't have 9 innings today, and they are running into Travis Blackley, who appears to have his A game this afternoon.
Yeah, he does, and that's why it works so well the way David's worked his rotation. He knows he's got a very good veteran arm that's going to at least push him to 5, potentially 6 innings, and then allows him to go to that bullpen that's so dominant to potentially close it out if they've got a lead. So really good strategy by Nielsen, knowing that he'll probably get minimum 5 out of Blackley and another quality start.
Shen Hao Wei leads off for the Blue Sox, 8-9-1. Shen Hao and Kemp, as Sydney looks for their first run against the lefty Blackley. Shen last night 2 for 4 with a pair of singles. Came around to score the tying run in the 8th inning, batting .276 on the year. Shen with a hard one hopper to short. Bennett's throw is on target for the first out.
Once again, good job by Bennett right there, and great job by Blackley. Just continue to force and get the ground ball, and that's a big out, particularly against him because he runs so well. I think it's one thing I've seen with Shen, and it probably even more evident in Sydney will be how much ground he patrols, and he's done a fantastic job this series defensively.
Here's Alex Howe, another lefty-lefty matchup. Howe, the DH last night, is in left field today. 1 for 4 with a single his last time up last night, and he scored the winning run, or the eventual winning run, in that 8th inning. Strike on the inside corner, and Blackley continues to have great success finding the zone. Home plate umpire today is James Shields, flanked at third base by Paul Latta, and at first by crew chief Mal Mackay. At the very end of the bat, Howe sends it foul, almost getting Dwayne Kemp, his teammate, in the on-deck circle. Very intimate setting here at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus, and thankfully that doesn't happen too often, but I mean, when you're standing 30 feet away from your teammate, it's bound to happen at some point. Hopefully nobody gets too seriously injured. Howe sends it to the same spot with a little less gas on it this time.
There's an old YouTube video out with a former Texas Ranger. I think he hit 4 foul balls in the dugout, all in the same spot, and
finally waved the white towel, right? Howe sends this one into the Bandits dugout. Nice catch made by someone in there. Blackley with major league experience with 5 different teams. Came up as a youngster with the Seattle Mariners. Battled back from injuries to play for both San Francisco and Oakland in California, and Houston and Texas in Texas. Weird how that works out sometimes. The 1-2. Check swing foul.
One thing we got a chance to see with Howe yesterday is he had a really big at-bat against Bollinger, against a very tough lefty. So it doesn't seem like lefties phase him. He still has quality at-bats against tough left-handed pitching.
Blue Sox strung together 4 hits and 2 runs against Bollinger in that pivotal 8th inning. Talking to people today in the post-mortem, they figured that 3 of those hits could have been caught if they were hit to a different part of the field. 1-2 popped up on the infield towards the Bandits dugout and inside the Bandits dugout in that weird gray area between the front rail and the dugout steps. Paul, you've been here longer than I have. If a player wants to go into that area on the warning track and make a play, they do have the right to do so.
Well,
right?
there is, and I don't see where they've actually. Normally, they have a white dead ball line, so it seems like they haven't put the chalk line in. So I'm assuming it's fair game.
We aren't privy to the ground rules discussions between the umpires and the team representatives around home plate before the game. Good at bat by Howe, 2-2 now. Pitch number 9 coming up from Blackley. Full count.
Really good job by Howell this at bat. You know, he's fell behind in the count and he's able to foul off some tough pitches, and now he puts himself in a full count situation.
Beg your pardon, that was actually pitch number 10 in the at-bat. This is number 11 coming up. Payoff pitch. Howe sends it foul.
There's a veteran right there. Fortunate enough to play with him in a couple different Olympic teams in Brendan Kingman, and for him to make a routine play like that, it's pretty typical. Very, very good hands as a defender when he played, and a very good hitter.
Bare hand pickup by the first base coach. A third of Blackley's pitches in this ball game have come in this at bat. And Howe on another 3-2 sends a foul ball. And it falls on the warning track between Sutherland and Dutton.
That's what happens when you look at how he's hitting 350, and they just find ways to foul pitches off. And even when you've got a ball in foul territory that potentially could be caught, doesn't. And you're hitting 150, gets caught. If you're hitting 350, finds a way to land.
If you're just tuning in today to see the Bandits and the Blue Sox, you may get the false impression that these are bad defensive teams. I think it's just a matter of the conditions they're playing in today. We've seen 2 dropped flies by the Bandits and 1 dropped foul pop by Sydney. We're only in the 3rd inning. High cloudless sky above us, some clouds in the distance. Another 3-2. Called strike 3. Long at bat, and a long battle is won by Blackley for the 2nd out of the 3rd inning.
Here's a replay right here, and really good location. But, you know, outside the strikeout, probably the one thing that's probably better was how long that at-bat was. So it was a quality at-bat and really forced Blackley to work and actually get his pitch count up here in the 3rd.
Skyfleet Hino strikeout. Lineup turns over for Dwayne Kemp. He flew out to left field to begin the ball game. And he takes a letter-high strike. Hot and muggy day in Brisbane. 33 degrees Celsius. For our American friends, that's in the mid-90s. This one is sent out to right center field, and it is caught by Campbell for the 3rd out. First 1-2-3 inning for Blackley without any base hits, and the Blue Sox cannot score against the lefty once more. Bandits return to bat in the bottom of the 3rd when we come back on Bandits.tv.
Can't you see my heart is lost without you? And your kisses make me love you more. And your kisses make me love you more. Can't you hear the sound of love and desire?
Leadoff man Andrew Campbell digs in for the Bandits to begin the bottom of the third inning, leading by a score of 2-0 over the Sydney Blue Sox. Called strike begins the at-bat. Campbell, Bennett, and Sutherland against Luke Wilkins, who has allowed a pair of solo home runs to the Bandits so far, but has otherwise pitched quite well.
He actually has. You talk about it's 2-0, but he's only conceded the 2 home runs, and it's only first time second time around the lineup. So this one I think we'll see if hitters will start making the early adjustments and seeing if they can be more effective against Wilkins.
The first home run hit by T.J. Bennett, who waits on deck, wouldn't even make it to the warning track at Blacktown, where the Blue Sox play their home games. 2-1 the count to Campbell. That's ball 4. Our scoreboard had it wrong. It's a 5-pitch walk to Andrew Campbell to begin the third inning.
That's a good at-bat right there, and that's when they're starting to see and make adjustments against Wilkins first time around, still getting a gauge, and now they had an opportunity to see multiple pitches. So see how quickly these hitters can make adjustments, and now particularly with the wind blowing out very heavily to right field.
First walk of the ball game for Wilkins after a few 3-ball counts. Here's Bennett, who expressed disappointment after making contact in his first at-bat. But the ball carried out to right center field, just over the fence, for a One Hub Stadium home run, if we want to call it that.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, it'd be that nice to be that strong and miss hit a ball and still hit it out.
Bennett on the season batting .281. That was his second homer of the year. Impressive 8 RBI through 8 games. This is game number 9 for Brisbane this season.
Yeah, he's always been very, very productive offensively, and for me, I'm even more impressed now that he's had to take on the battle of playing shortstop every day, which is a lot more taxing on the body, but he looks in really good shape this year, and he's transitioned well.
Before the pitch to Bennett, Campbell checked back at first. Murphy foiled the Bandits' only stolen base attempt last night and got Bennett trying to steal second early in the ballgame. Bennett barrels another one up. This one's deep to center field, but the ballpark will hold it. Shen makes the catch on the edge of the warning track in straightaway center field. It's an unfair game, isn't it? I think that one was better hit than the home run.
It was. It all, hopefully, as a baseball player's career, you hope that all balances itself out. But well-struck ball to center field, and a good job just running that down. But you're right, the first one he hits it out, and the last one he absolutely scorches the center and just for a lazy out.
David Sutherland hit the ball well his first time, banging a double off the wall in right center field. And again, Campbell is checked back at first. Wilkins comes set.
Ooh.
Campbell was leaning, but a slower move this time. He gets back safely.
Yeah, just got a little bit of lane right there. And Wilkins right now is actually trying to just keep him tight. He's got not a plus runner at the plate, and obviously you got a decent runner at first base. So if he can get him to shorten up his secondary, if he can get it, induce a ground ball, he can turn 2 and get out of the inning.
Check swing misses up high. It's 1-0. Next pitch will be number 50 for Wilkins. He's been about 50-50 in terms of strike percentage, 25 strikes, 24 balls. Campbell takes off. Sutherland lifts it in the air to left center field. Coming in is Howe. He makes the catch, and Campbell, with his head up, identified the fly ball, gets it back to first base quite easily.
It probably looked more like a run and hit, where Campbell taking an opportunity to see if he can steal a bag and put himself in motion. I definitely wouldn't put a hit and run on with a guy like Sutherland. He can drive the ball to the yard, so looks like he got a pitch he could hit, just missed it, and Campbell's able to get back safely.
Here's Donald Lutz. Fly out to center First time up for the big right fielder. Steps into a take, and it's 1-0. Paul Gonzalez, you think this is a favorable matchup?
I think it is. I think you just look at the wind and second time around the lineup, and guys will start making the early adjustments.
The 1-0. There's a swing and a miss, 1-1. For the Bandits, 2 runs on 3 hits. For the Blue Sox, no runs on 2 hits. 7-inning ball game in Game 1. Full 9 innings in the nightcap. Lutz puts a charge into a fly ball down the left field line. Wind may push that one back into the field of play. And Shepard has room on the warning track to make the catch for out number 3. Bandits can't do anything with speed at first after a leadoff walk. They cannot score, and we go to the 4th. 2-0 Brisbane on Bandits.tv.
Careful, out there, champ.
How good is this?
Welcome back to One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus in Brisbane. Bandits leading the Sydney Blue Sox by a score of 2-0 in Game 1 of today's doubleheader. It's one of many games scheduled across the league today. Auckland played early, and a game that ended early because of rain. Auckland scores 1 in the bottom of the 8th inning, and they beat the Canberra Cavalry by a score of 3-2. And then final completed early in their second game as well. 2-1, Canberra defeats Auckland. A lot of rain, a lot of cool weather in New Zealand. They got both games in, but we saw that last weekend. You kind of have to tap dance around the weather that may come by for the Tuatara. Ball 1 misses high from Travis Blackley to Gift and Gope. And Gope with a grounder to short his first time up. And Gope in 2017 became the first African-born player to make the major leagues. That was with the Pirates. This year got some time in the major leagues with the Toronto Blue Jays.
Just looking at him early in the last night and today, he's still got big league tools, so I don't think he'll be on the market long. Particularly with what his skill sets.
If you can play shortstop, as Ngope is for the Blue Sox, you can play anywhere else in the infield typically. And even as a depth guy who gets a shot at AAA, it's nice to have someone who has played in the major leagues as a fallback option for a franchise that, you start the major league season and you never know what you're going to need in terms of depth.
Yeah, particularly when they talk about he's also a good clubhouse guy. And when you talk about the big league level and you've got a guy that's that versatile and he's good in the clubhouse, they're always an asset to any organization.
Travis Blackley trying to avoid a leadoff walk. 3-1 is rocketed into center field for a base hit. And Gope aboard for the Blue Sox to begin the 4th inning. That'll bring the tying run to the plate in the form of Jacob Eunice.
Good pitch by Blackley, but a good job by Gift right there. He didn't try to do too much, stayed through the baseball, and that's why he hits at a big league level and able to shoot the ball through. Broke his bat, but he's a leadoff hit for the Blue Sox here in the 4th.
Jacob Eunice singled his first time up in the 1st. and then read the down angle, trying to take second on a stolen base off of Blackley and Battaglia. The throw from the catcher Battaglia was not in time at second, but Eunice overslid the base and was called out to end the inning. Blackley delivers a called strike. Blackley went 5 innings in his first start against Adelaide, only 3 innings on the road last weekend in Auckland. Always helps to have an early lead. The 0-1. And there's the pickoff move from Blackley.
I think that might have been the C move.
He does take pride in the pickoff move. And he takes pride in not getting called for balks. The right foot, the driving foot. There's another single off second base. It kicks towards left center field. Campbell charges and gets it back in. And Gope checks in at second. Eunice is now 2 for 2 with a pair of singles.
Yeah, good job by Eunice right there. He got a pitch down in the zone, but shot it through up the middle and get a chance to see the replay. And just through the glove of Blackley. If he probably comes up with it, he's got a chance at turning 2, but Eunice able to shoot the ball up the middle. Ooh, just by the glove, so just missed him. And that'll make first and second with nobody out here in the 4th.
Travis looks into his glove in surprise that the ball didn't arrive there. Trent D'Antonio, with the tying run at first, steps in. Strikeout victim his first time up. Lefty-lefty matchup here.
See, I'm trying to see if I could pick it up early. A little spin move to second base and seeing if D'Antonio was actually looking at potentially a bunt in situation. It would make sense here in the 4th because we are playing a 7-inning ball game to then allow Murphy to have an opportunity to drive in 2 with for second and third.
Tough to take the bat out of the hands of your cleanup hitter. No sign of a bunt on the first pitch, a strike. Cat and mouse game as time is called at home plate. Blackley, a veteran, is a creature of habit, and the Blue Sox are trying to throw him off of his rhythm. Called strike, it's quickly 0-2.
Now he's got to really battle it, particularly in this situation. He's got to find a way to put the ball in play to at least advance the runners. If he does that, he's done his job. If he doesn't put bat on ball, then makes it a lot tougher for Murphy to drive in a run, at least try to shorten that lead.
Low and away. And Gope at second, Eunice at first. Now time called just as Blackley was delivering to the plate. D'Antonio looking out towards the mound. Pitchers don't typically like that, but it's fair game when it happens, right?
Well, it is, and he actually even acknowledged, and it was a late call, but good job by the umpire, and Blackley just continued to commit to his movements. But D'Antonio and Blackley have been teammates together for a few years on Team Australia as well.
D'Antonio waits on the breaking pitch and sends it weakly towards first. Blackley covers, and whether it was the tag or the foot on the base, Blackley gets the out. It serves as a sacrifice as Blackley and D'Antonio collide down the line. Two guys who know each other make sure they're each okay. And a circuitous route to get there, but D'Antonio does advance, and Gope to third and Eunice to second as we look at the Suki Bowl replay.
Yeah, good job of Blackley. He recognized straight away soft hit ball, and good job of covering. And looks like he actually make sure if he didn't hit the bag, he made the tag as well. So good awareness there. calls time. And in this situation right now, I'd just like to see Blackley just regroup, because it is a big effort for him to run down there and to beat that speedy runner, get down the line. Now he's got his work cut out with him with Jack Murphy at the plate.
Murphy can tie the ball game with a base hit to the outfield. Next pitch will be number 50 on the afternoon for Blackley. Murphy swings and fouls at the first offering. Inning began with a walk, the first of the day for Blackley. Jacob Eunice followed with a line drive single up the middle. Infield playing back. It appears they will concede the run. The 0-1. Breaker for a strike.
Really good pitch right there by Blackley. First pitch was down in the zone, and then he elevates something. So now Murphy will have to really bear down and see if he can manufacture a run with the defense playing back.
Blackley's 0-2. Murphy hit on the shin by the pitch. That'll load the bases, and we hope that Murphy's okay. Slow to get up. It got him on the left leg area, I believe. Somewhere between the shin and the knee. Receiving some medical attention. Here's another look at the Suki Bowl replay.
It looked like a
right
hard cutter into the knee, and I tell you what, Murphy's about as tough as they get. He's been catching a long time at a high level, so to wound a catcher, you got to get him in a good spot. But it looks like he caught him in that side of the knee, so hopefully he'll be okay. And he's still got to receive behind the plate for a few more innings.
The doubleheader today, Tony Harris probably will go to another catching option for the nightcap. Murphy trots to first. That's a missed opportunity for Blackley, who had Murphy behind in the count. Now the bases are juiced for Zach Shepard, who doubled in the second inning. Double in the scorebook, but it was a playable fly ball that Donald Lutz overran near the line and right. Now the infield pinches into double play depth. Which misses inside. Good pitch. James Shields didn't give it to him.
Here's where Blackley, when his experience got to come into play. Got a young hitter at the plate and see if he can get him to roll on something and utilize his defense to get him out of this inning.
Shepard early sends it foul to his dugout. 1-1. And a lefty waiting on deck in Michael Campbell, so if he can get Shepard, then he's got a favorable matchup looking for out number 3.
Overall, it's been a really good job by both pitching staffs. They've been able to contain these offense with the exception of the 2 solo shots. Wilkins has done a really good job of keeping the hitters off balance.
Sydney left 11 men on base in their 5-4 victory last night. But they came through more than the Bandits did in situations like this. 1-1. Low and in. Blackley with a long look in, peering over his glove. The 2-1. Foul back to the screen.
Good pitch right there. Got away with one up in the zone. And normally for a hitter, if you get something up, it's something you can elevate to the outfield. At least worst case scenarios, you get your sac fly. So now he's got to bear down. Probably see Blackley either try to utilize that cutter, try to see if he can force him to hit the ball into the ground and utilize his defense.
Blackley's 2-2. Cold, strike 3. second out of the inning. Another Skyfleet Hino strikeout, and strikeout number 4 this afternoon for Travis Blackley.
Look at the pitch again, in really good location. Looked like almost like a backdoor cutter. So you see how late movement, late in the action, just on the outer half, and able to get the big strikeout. So now, like you said earlier in the piece, you've got the lefty-lefty matchup here with bases loaded and 2 outs.
Campbell was a strikeout victim his first time. Got a bases loaded 2-out single in the 5th inning of last night's ball game, so he's come through in the exact same situation before. First pitch swinging, hit hard on the ground towards third. Shu catches it in the breadbasket and sends it on to first. Travis Blackley escapes trouble and leaves the bases loaded in a scoreless 4th inning. We are halfway home in this 7-inning ball game. Bandits on top, 2-0.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
No one knows what the future of transportation will look like. Robots. But no matter what, Enterprise can help. You can rent a car for a road trip. Look, kids, nature. Oh, wow. You can rent a truck for a move. You can buy a car, commute in a van pool, or get picked up because your car is in a pool. My bad. Count on Enterprise, no matter where transportation goes next.
Let's go.
I love the future. How can Enterprise pick you up today?
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah?
Is it fun playing at festivals?
It's pretty good, mate. You get to see amazing places, meet new people. Everyone's just pumped to be there, and you get to do the sign-off.
Queensland, where life's beautiful one day and perfect the next.
Some young fans enjoying today's 2-0 Bandits lead over the Sydney Blue Sox as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. And tomorrow is Kids Day for the series finale, a first pitch of 2:30, and the first 150 fans through the gates get in free.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Yes,
today was
thanks for the
2:30, and today second game obviously at 6. But yeah, Mark Reedy actually organized where we did an activation last week with the players, and they passed out another 500 tickets for just new fans to participate. And last year we had a take up of about 20% on those 500 tickets, so we should have a good turnout tomorrow as well.
Should be rocking and rolling as the Bandits hope to secure a series victory tomorrow if they can sweep today's doubleheader. Shu Chi-hung leads off the 4th inning for the Bandits, 0 for 1 today. A called strike from Luke Wilkins. 5, 6, and 7, Shu, Unroe, and Dutton as Brisbane tries to extend the 2-0 advantage.
Just trying to have a look and see how Murph back there, and like I said, he's tough as nails, and took one in the knees. Just seeing if he's having to favor that, particularly with the new wound with in that last at bat. See how he recovers. You see he's kind of a little bit ginger back there, so be interesting to see if that has an impact on him for game 2 if he decides to catch.
1-2, a swinging strike 3, and Shu is dispatched quickly for the first out. Third strikeout for Wilkins, who's allowed 3 hits, all of them for extra bases. A pair of solo homers and a double that was stranded.
Once again, just acknowledge Wilkins today. He's been actually pretty lights out. I mean, he's given the one home run up to TJ early on that was carried into that right center field. Obviously, Nielsen, he got his. It was a pitch up in the zone, but the rest of the day he's been pretty solid.
Riley Unroe, a strikeout victim his first time up, is behind in the count again, 0-2. Wilkins from the wind. 3-pitch strikeout and 2 quick strikeouts to begin this 4th inning.
I'll tell you one thing Wilkins does, his tempo is very, very quick, so he gets it and he pitches with purpose. So Blackley tends to work a little bit slower in between pitches. Wilkins more deliberate with what he wants to do.
Wilkins has needed only 7 pitches to get 2 strikeouts so far in the 4th. Wade Dutton grounded to short his first time up. And he takes a called strike. If you thought the bases loaded jam that Blackley got out of in the top of this inning was a momentum shifter, Bandits haven't been able to do anything since.
No, they really haven't. And like I said, both teams have been pretty solid. And you look at the line scores, 4 hits for Sydney and 3 hits for the Bandits, and the difference has been the 2 solo shots in this ball game. But both pitchers have been very, very efficient and stuck to their game plan.
A 10-pitch inning, almost an immaculate inning for Luke Wilkins, who strikes out the side in order. And we go to the 5th inning. Bandits on top, 2-0.
It's always been you.
It's always been us.
Welcome back to the broadcast booth at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. Paul Gonzalez and Eric Bramer with you for this doubleheader between the Curran Cove Brisbane Bandits and the Sydney Blue Sox. 2-0 Bandits so far as we reach the second half of this ball game. Only 7 innings, and Travis Blackley has done a really good job so far.
Well, both pitchers have done a fantastic job. With the exception we talked about earlier in the piece, Wilkins has actually only made really one mistake that Nielsen hit, and TJ able to muscle one out over the Boral sign early in the piece. But both pitchers have had to bear down, and it'll be interesting to see now that there's a few looks. How deep in this ball game can Blackley go, and how much deeper can Wilkins go?
Blue Sox almost broke the ice against Blackley in the 4th inning. Single, a walk, and hit by pitch, but Blackley left the bases full. 8-9-1 due up for Sydney, beginning with Shen Hao Wei, the center fielder, who grounded to short his first time up. First pitch from the lefty, misses just outside ball 1. Shen, as we said in last night's broadcast, the family name. But you say the family name first in most Asian cultures. Will be followed by Alex Howe and then Dwayne Kemp. That'll begin the 3rd turn through the order, and that's when you see the numbers really start to shift. On a big picture scale, when a batter sees a pitcher for the 3rd time, they've really figured out what different pitches they offer, and the results tend to change.
Well, it is, but the difference with Blackley is, as a veteran guy, he'll potentially give you new looks. He may be a little bit more creative with his cutter, take speed off, and that's why sometimes when you've got a 3-pitch guy, veteran guys actually are 6-pitch guys because they just give you 2 different variations of each pitch.
1-2 the count. Blackley looking for strikeout number 5.
Wow.
And he gets it. Shen knew it. Another Skyfleet Hino strikeout. And that is an important first out after the difficulty that Blackley ran into in the 4th. Take another look.
And that's just nasty breaking ball right here. We look at how much downward action that has, and when he's throwing that, that's almost unhittable. So big pitch for Blackley. And when we talked about now, all of a sudden you lock in, thinking, I've got him. He's a fastball cutter, and all of a sudden he starts rolling that wrinkle over, and you're going, well, that's just not fair.
Here's Alex Howe. He struck out looking his first time up. Lefty-lefty matchup. Called strike. Blackley's pitch count is pretty good. 63 pitches now, 47 of them for strikes, and no action in the Brisbane pen.
Yeah, he looks, like I said, he looks under control, and what I've seen today is his game plan's been pretty solid. Even when he got into trouble, he had a very good game plan to get himself out.
Off the end of the bat and into the hole is the second baseman Dutton. He fields and throws to retire Howe for the second out.
Soft ground ball again, and good job by Wade to go to his left. Comes up, makes a good throw to first base for out number 2. And like I said, once again, Blackley continue to utilize his defense and not working too deep in his counts. And hopefully he can continue to keep his efficiencies there and work deeper into this ball game.
Here's the third look through the lineup for the Blue Sox. Dwayne Kemp is 0 for 2 with a pair of flyouts, 1 to left and 1 to center. Blackley's first is a strike. Travis is the type of guy at this point in his career with the unique scheduling structure of the ABL where you play 4 games over each weekend. You can ride him a little bit longer knowing that he won't have to pitch again for another week.
That's it, and compared to, and it's a good point you make, compared to in the U.S. where he'd be every 5th day. So he does get a little bit longer in the recovery. And even that's been conditioning for some of these athletes that are conditioned to hit every day or pitch on every 5th day. It's just how they reprogram themselves mentally. But most of these guys have been in the league a number of years and have made the adjustments.
Typically a Tuesday practice is the only time these teams formally get together during the week. High fastball sent in the air to left center field, but into the gap is Campbell, and he makes the catch. A 1-2-3 fifth after the difficult 4th, and Blackley is right back on track. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning as we take another look at Campbell's outstanding defense in the outfield. 2-0 Bandits on Bandits.tv.
Can't you see my heart is lost without you? And your kisses make me love you more. And your kisses make me love you more. Can't you hear the sound of love and desire? Kiss me, baby, touch me. Kiss me, baby, love me.
Bandits trying to even up this series against Sydney at a game apiece in Game 1 of today's doubleheader. They are well on their way. It's 2-0 Brisbane as we go to the bottom of the 5th in this 7-inning ball game. Paul Gonzalez and Eric Bramer with you on a hot and steamy day in Brisbane. 33 degrees Celsius at first pitch. The Bandits are staying hot enough with the bats on the strength of Travis Blackley's outstanding pitching efforts so far. Daniel Nielsen leads off and with a check swing takes a strike. 8-9-1 due up for the Bandits. Nielsen with a homer his first time up. And the second pitch is fouled over the Bandits' dugout. And we do want to reiterate for anyone watching that tomorrow's game starts at 2 o'clock, not 2:30. On the website previously it was 2:30. Nielsen again barrels it up. He sends it out into center field for a base hit. Daniel Nielsen out of the 8th spot is 2 for 2. And the Bandits have the leadoff man on.
Like you mentioned earlier, tomorrow Sunday at 2 p.m. will be ConocoPhillips for the Family Day. So that's first 150 kids do get in free, and that's proudly partnered with ConocoPhillips for the family.
Here's Ryan Battaglia. He struck out swinging his first time up, and he takes a called strike. The 0-1 popped up. Foul territory over by first, but Eunice doesn't have room.
Just looking in the Bandits bullpen, looks like there's a little bit of action at the moment. So Bennett's in the pen, so obviously he's got someone starting to heat up. Blackley's done a brilliant game. He looks solid. It'd be interesting to see if David goes one more inning and see how he goes, depending probably on who comes up in the lineup, if he's got to go lefty-lefty.
The 0-2. Battaglia sends it high in the air, deep towards left. Wynn pushes it towards Howe, who makes the running catch over his shoulder.
Good job by Howe right there. Went a long ways, and the wind has been pretty tricky today, and able to run that ball down for out number one. It's a big catch for the left fielder.
Looks like that may be Cameron McVeigh warming up.
It is. McVeigh is heating up now, and he's not just rolling over. He's starting to heat up, so it'll be interesting to see. It looks like we've got cameras running out there now. See if he's actually potentially heating up to come in.
Andrew Campbell, the leadoff man, takes outside. Campbell 0 for 1. He drew a walk his most recent time up. Campbell sends it high and deep to right center field. This ball is gone. A long home run for Andrew Campbell. And the Bandits double their lead. It's 4-0. Third of the year for Soupy, another Empire Jerky home run. And that gives the Bandits a little bit more breathing room as they try and clamp down this Game 1 victory.
Well, we take a look, and this is what they call back leg, and he sits there and he just spins off the back leg and elevates, and the ball is absolutely crushed to right center field, and that's a long home run, and now we've got a 4-0 ball game here in the fifth.
3 home runs accounting for all 4 runs for Brisbane this afternoon. I don't know if it's...
Got the replay, so we got McVeigh. He is heating up, and a good shot by the Hellstorm team to pick him up. So it looks like now we got a 4-0 lead. It'll be interesting to see if David lets Blackley roll it over, but McVeigh looks like he's heating up, like he's got intentions to come in.
No longer a save situation. If they can save Luke Van Meel for the nightcap today, that would be nice. TJ Bennett sends a little pop-up back of second, and the shortstop Ngope makes the catch for the second out.
It's always hard as a hitter when a guy in front of you, especially your leadoff hitter, hits one about 450 feet. You tend to want to see if you can back leg, and he probably got a little bit long on that swing for out number 2.
Here's David Sutherland, 1 for 2 with a double his first time up. Flew out to left most recently. Lost a billboard, so a slight delay behind home plate as umpire James Shields makes sure that won't impact the play. It's the last thing you want, running into a stray billboard.
No, it was a Boral sign, so it was, looks like even the heat of the sun today off that wall has even melted the Boral sign.
Wilkins delivers, and it misses wide, 2-0. Two-0 is hit hard but foul down the left field line, out of play.
We start seeing the hitters, we talk about third time around and fourth time around, and when guys start making adjustments, and they were a little bit long in some of their at-bats, but now they seem to really start to square the baseball up here in the fifth.
2-1 misses low, 3-1 with Lutz waiting on deck. The Bandits in this series have scored 8 runs. 7 of them have come on home runs, and the other one was a 3-base error on a warning track fly ball to left center. Nice pitch from Wilkins on 3-1, a fastball count. Sutherland clearly looking fastball, gets a check swing, and the count runs full.
Yeah, good location right there, just down and away, and not a lot you can do with that pitch.
Payoff pitch. Sutherland just gets a piece. Pitch number 7 in the at-bat coming up. Pitch number 80 on the afternoon for Wilkins. Hit hard, but into the shift as Ngope, the shortstop right behind second, makes the play and retires Sutherland for the 3rd out. The Bandits get a little bit of insurance with a long home run off the bat of Andrew Campbell, a 2-run shot. And as we go to the 6th inning, it's 4-0 Brisbane on Bandits.tv.
Careful, out there, champ.
How good is this?
After a scoreless 5-inning start from Travis Blackley, Cameron McVeigh comes on in an Alderley higher pitching change for the Bandits. 4-0 Brisbane on top, and Blackley in line for his 2nd win of the year. He went 5 innings, allowing 3 hits and walking 1. He struck out 5, and he departs for McVeigh, who will be asked to get the 6th inning, and if it is no longer a save situation, maybe finish it off for the 7th as well.
Well, he did exactly what Nielsen would have scripted, the night before when he wrote the lineup and put out the staff, and he gave him a quality 5, and the only time he got in trouble, he was able to bear down and get himself out of it. So a really good start for Blackley and the Bandits, and now it's up to the bullpen to try to close this one out.
2, 3, and 4 due up for Sydney, beginning with Gift and Ngope. Ngope 0 for 1, he drew a walk his last time up. McVeigh, 30 years old, out of Glendora, California. Ngope calls time before the first pitch is delivered. He wants to dig into the batter's box just a bit more. First pitch swinging is Ngope. He sends it high and deep to right center field. This ball is gone. Gift and Ngope with a solo shot. A rude greeting for Cameron McVeigh, and the Blue Sox are on the board. It's 4-1.
Tell you what, he got in. I think he almost had the book on him straight away. Set dead red, and obviously we can see why this man played at the big league level. So McVeigh, a hard-throwing right-handed pitcher. On the first pitch he delivered was shot over the center field wall for a solo shot.
First run of the season allowed by McVeigh. And another look at the Suki Bowl replay.
And he squared him up right down the middle of the plate, and he did not miss it. And like I said, to hit the big league level, you've got to be able to catch up with number 1, and he was able to catch up with number 1.
There's a called strike to Jacob Eunice, who is 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. McVeigh on the season, an inning and a third. No wins, no losses, and no saves. This one sent high in the air to shallow center field, playable for Campbell, who makes the catch for the first out.
Yeah, McVeigh, big right-handed pitcher, hard thrower, probably sits between 92 and 94 miles an hour. What makes him tough, he's got a really hard split-finger fastball, and the guys I've got a chance to talk to in the bullpen said when it's on, it's tough to hit. So primarily a 2-pitch guy, but he's really come in here to power to set up to get to his closer.
Trent D'Antonio is 0 for 2, a strikeout and a grounder to first. Long at bat his last time up. He swings at the first pitch here and lifts it foul out of play down the left field line. And Gope's homer is the first of the series for the Blue Sox. That's not exactly their game. But they'll take whatever they can get as they try and get out of the 4-0 hole. Now it's a 3-run ball game, and we may see Luke Van Meel come on for the 7th inning in a save situation if the score holds.
You can see on the mound right there, he actually holds the split finger grip when he first comes set, and he makes an adjustment once he gets the ball in the glove.
D'Antonio almost went around, and we have a pretty good angle from up here on the third base side of home plate. The appeal down to third, Paul Laddis says he held up, and the count runs to 1-2. New life for D'Antonio. Didn't break the wrists, but the bat head went over at least part of home plate. 1-2, slow chopper. Second baseman Dutton fields and throws, and that retires D'Antonio for the second out.
Good play right there by Dutton. I tell you what, it wasn't routine. He got there, and if you can see the replay here, he got a little in between hop, but he stayed with it right there. Come up and made a quick throw to first base against the speedy D'Antonio for out number 2.
You don't want those in-between hops, but with speed and D'Antonio, you have to take it and get rid of the ball as quickly as possible. Here's Jack Murphy. Hit by a pitch in his left knee his last time up. That loaded the bases. Now with the righty on the mound, he's batting left-handed, and that left knee is a bit more protected. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
It looks like that splitty right there, and that's what the guys in the bullpen were talking to me about, is that when it's on, it's really tough because it's the same arm action as the fastball, and he's a guy that can rush it up there in the low 90s, so all of a sudden you start throwing that. It's a tough pitch to catch up with.
I said the left knee was protected, but the foul ball on 0-2 almost got the left knee again of Jack Murphy. They have gotten him on the thigh instead. He appears to be okay.
I'm just looking at McVeigh by Biola University. You have to help me on that one.
Put me on the spot.
Put myself on the spot. I've played in the U.S. in collegiate.
0-2 a check swing. He went around. And Cameron McVeigh out of Biola University in Los Angeles gets a strikeout to end the 6th inning. And Gope with the home run gets the Blue Sox on the board. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 4-1 Bandits.
It's always been you.
It's always been us.
Brisbane Bandits leading the Sydney Blue Sox 4-1 as we go to the bottom of the 6th in this 7-inning doubleheader ball game at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Bandits: Lutz, Shu, and Unruh. And we have a new pitcher in the ball game for Sydney.
It'll be veteran pitcher is Craig Anderson, and talk about a guy that's been a long time in baseball and one of the gentlemen of the game, and he's on the mound now for the Sydney Blue Sox. Primarily a 2-pitch guy, 3-pitch guy, but his out pitches his changeup, probably one of the best changeups in baseball in his heyday, and great to see him still on the bump for the Blue Sox.
It's an Alderley higher pitching change. Wilkins on the hook for the loss. He got through 5 innings, allowed 3 home runs, accounting for all 4 runs that he allowed. 5 hits, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts.
I threw you a little bit of a curveball in that quiz of Biola University, and I think we did a little bit of history in the break and turned out 2 Major League pitchers came out of Biola, and I should actually known one. He was a former teammate and roommate of mine, was Tim Worrell, and then obviously his brother Toddy Worrell, longtime Cardinal and Dodger closer, very dominant in his heyday. And Timmy had a very, very good career with a few organizations, San Diego, I think it was San Francisco Giants as well.
Anderson due to face 2 lefties and a switch hitter in Lutz, Shu, and Unroe. 38-year-old out of Gosford, Australia. Delivers a slow breaking pitch for a strike.
If I had to give you a book on Ando, it's command, really works ahead in the count and gets in trouble. He can always go to his changeup, but really keeps you off balance and just gives you different looks each at bat, each pitch.
Lutz 0 for 2, fly to center and a foul pop to third. Luke Van Meel warming in the Brisbane bullpen. Get a shot of him in a moment. 1-2, pop foul out of play behind home plate. Right now it is a save situation with a 3-run lead. If Lutz or Shu or Unroe or anyone else can extend the Bandits' lead, they may be able to save their closer for the nightcap of the doubleheader.
And just so earlier we had Luke Van Meel was up rolling it over, so it'll be interesting to see probably, like you said, with the save situation, if the Bandits aren't able to score another run.
And now he just sat down.
He just sat down, but he may come in pending the situation of the outcome of this inning.
1-2 coming. Cold, strike 3 on the outside corner. I don't think there was anything resembling a fastball in that at bat, but Anderson, using his secondary pitches, put Donald Lutz to sleep at the plate for a strikeout.
And that's what's made him so effective throughout his career, is that he will go slow and then he can go slower, and then all of a sudden he rushes an 82-mile-an-hour fastball there and looks like it's about 97. So good pitch.
Shu Ji Hung takes outside ball 1. Hung 0 for 2. Batting average dipping below 200. Hasn't been able to get into a rhythm. We saw his potential in the exhibition series against Auckland, but in regular season play, I'd like to get going. 1-2.
And that's where he's tough right there, and just showing you 2 different speed on his breaking pitch right now. So then he gets guys sitting on it. See, looks like Murphy's called a changeup right there.
Called strike 3. Back-to-back backwards Ks for Craig Anderson, coming on in relief, and quickly 2 down in the 6th inning.
Yeah, another good sequence right there. Went soft, 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 then he comes back in with this pitch right here in really good location.
Here's Riley Unroe, pair of strikeouts, and now he bats right-handed for the first time. Infielder getting the start at DH today, looking for his first Bandits hit of the season. Early, as has been every swing so far in this inning, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, Anderson normally a long-time starter for the Blue Sox, so it's a completely different look seeing him coming out of the pen.
The 0-2, just missing the corner. Van Meel is sat down, so McVeigh may get the top of the 7th inning, at least to begin. 1-2 just misses again.
Well, if we look at it, you've got probably the bottom of the Blue Sox order coming up. So
6, 7, and 8.
Yeah, David may say, let's see what you can do, big man, give you some more innings and see if you can close this thing out.
Unroe swings and misses, and Craig Anderson, with some effective relief, strikes out the side. There have been 7 strikeouts by the Blue Sox pitching staff today, and 6 of them have come over the course of 2 innings. We go to the last of this ball game, top of the 7th. Blue Sox need 3 runs to continue, and sure enough, it's Luke Van Meel coming on. More on the tall closer when we come back.
good is this?
Luke Van Meel comes on for the save as the Curran Cove Brisbane Bandits look to take Game 1 of today's doubleheader and Game 2 of Round 3 against the Sydney Blue Sox. The 216-centimeter righty, 34 years old, out of the Netherlands, is 1-0 on the season with a 4.50 ERA. In 2 innings, he has allowed 2 hits and 1 run. That 1 run came in his previous save opportunity, but he got the job done, and he has a little bit of room to work with here. With a 3-run lead, he can afford to throw that gas and challenge the bottom of the Blue Sox lineup. And
I think that's what he'll do. He's a power arm. I think when I spoke to David about him, he's a 2-pitch guy, fastball, and then he'll throw a power slider. He said if he's throwing a changeup, we're in trouble, considering he can get up there as high as 97, 98 miles an hour. So he's a big right-hander from the Netherlands, and he can throw the ball hard.
Cameron McVeigh leaves in the Alderley higher pitching change. He allowed just the Gift and Gope home run in his 6th inning of work. Zach Shepard leads it off, 1 for 2 with a Gift double his first time up. Called strike from Van Meel. Van Meel in his 4th ABL season, first with the Bandits. Pitched the previous 3 years for the Adelaide Bite.
Wow.
And he blows the fastball by Shepard. It's 0-2.
Got a chance to speak with Adam Daub this morning, just connected with him, and he's still in Sydney, and we reach out to him, and he mentioned there's a young man for their team, and they got him in the low to mid-90s as well. So
called strike 3, and quickly out number 1 for Luke Van Meel.
Get a chance to see the replay right there. Wasn't happy with the call, but once again showed him a secondary pitch. Only saw one of the fastballs, and then here's the pitch right here. And
generous outside corner,
yeah.
But Van Meel has shown command of the strike zone, and you get those calls when you know what you're doing on the rubber. Skyfleet Hino strikeout. That brings up Michael Campbell. Campbell swings and misses. The strikeouts have come in bursts today, haven't they?
They have. I think it tends to happen on days where you play in a small ballpark and the wind blows out. You probably tend to overswing and end up creating more strikeouts because your approach at the plate is more of a long swing. So we've seen a lot of long swings today, but we've also seen some long home runs.
Now Campbell finds himself behind 0-2. He is 0-4-2 today with a strikeout in the 2nd and a grounder to 3rd that left the bases loaded in the 4th. The 0-2. Hit on the ground weakly towards 2nd. Dutton charges, fields, and throws for the 2nd out, and the Blue Sox are down to their last batter.
And good location right there by Van Meel. And when you talk about a guy that's probably low to high 90s, mid to high 90s on a fastball, and once he starts to locate that, that's just good location on the hands, and wasn't able to get the barrel out.
The last hope for the Blue Sox is Shen Hao Wei, who's 0-2 with a grounder to short and a strikeout. Called strike begins the at-bat. The way Van Meel is going, if he only has to throw, say, 10 pitches, he's at 7 right now, he could come back for the nightcap. The 0-1 misses wide.
I think anytime there's a safe situation, Dave will definitely go to these guys. They're not overly taxed compared to if they were in the U.S. or in the Asian market. So
1-1, lifted in the air, shallow left. Nielsen comes on. He's got it. He catches, and the Bandits win Game 1 of today's doubleheader by the score of 4-1. The winning formula once again, solid starting pitching, and a lot of home runs from the potent Bandits offense. On this hot afternoon in Brisbane, the Curran Cove Brisbane Bandits have the handshake line, and they hope to do it again a few hours from now. Game 2 of today's doubleheader will begin at 6 o'clock local time. That is a little less than an hour and 45 minutes from now. It'll be back on bandits.tv, and we will be here to bring it to you. For Paul Gonzalez, I'm Eric Bramer. Thanks for watching. Your final score, the Curran Cove Brisbane Bandits 4, the Sydney Blue Sox 1, Blackley with the win, Wilkins with the loss, and Van Meel with the save. Join us in a little less than 2 hours here on bandits.tv.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere.
And we have more than customers, we have fans.
It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
No one knows what the future of transportation will look like. Robots. But no matter what, Enterprise can help. You can rent a car for a road trip. Look, kids, nature. Oh, wow. You can rent a truck for a move. You can buy a car, commute in a van pool, or get picked up because your car is in a pool. My bad. Count on Enterprise, no matter where transportation goes next.
Let's go.
I love the future. How can Enterprise pick you up today?
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah?
Is it fun playing at festivals?
It's pretty good, mate. You get to see amazing places, meet new people. Everyone's just pumped to be there, and you get to do the sign-off.
Queensland, where life's beautiful one day and perfect the next.